Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight? I'd like to welcome to the stage
King Andile Mama.
to everybody in the house. Give a warm round of applause for
King Andile Mama.
And he captures the moment.
King Andile Mama.
Man, it is extraordinary.
Bafana won against Cape Verde. It started an entire conversation on Cape Verde. Huh? Beautiful island. It looks beautiful.
If Andile took the route via Cape Verde, he might not come back alone.
Let's hear what the people have to say.
I would Andile Salota Maya. Oh, I would welcome back. We missed you.
Now that the AFCON is over, I'd love to hear you pronounce these European teams, eh? Iwambolai. We hear you saying, oh, Osasuna, Ete Roman Sante, Iwa.
Starting off in Durban, Pro Pilane Pro. I hear you are leaving us after this show again.
Yes, of course. I'm taking a break again. There's a top four that one needs to focus on. We need to finish in the top four. So we need to win now.
Wow, Laka. Bro.
Pilane is just a lovely guy. Of course, Amazon are not going to be in the top 4. They are not good enough.
Bullets fired.
Yeah. We're not here to make easy decisions, Andy.
Let's talk about Timikosi launch first. Have a listen to this and then let's discuss Timikosi.
I'm hoping that I will start over the weekend and do my best for my team.
He even sounded happy from the interview. You can hear that he's where he wanted to be.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7.
Oh man, very unprofessional of me to come onto the air laughing. But let me do an intro first and then I'll tell you why I'm laughing. Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro FM. Thank you so much for choosing us. I really appreciate you. I do. But also, I appreciate the touchdown. Every single day, it's a red carpet that they roll down for their show, and they leave a piece for us to come on, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much to the touchdown. They do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6. Now, I'm laughing because I had, a different conversation with Steve Khombela yesterday. You know, it was never supposed to be about him getting let go, amicably parting ways, fired from Swallows. It was a conversation that was about other things. And then, because we'd already planned it, the Swallows thing happened. Those letters came out when he was already scheduled to be on the show. And hence why you heard a lot of things that we're just talking about. And then, obviously, we got to the crux of the Swallows matter. Malcolm is a technical director, technical producer here on the show. He presses the buttons for us and makes sure that we sound good alongside with Thabo Nkwala. And he says to me today, what did you say, Malcolm? Yesterday, what happened?
I was in your class, and Steve, I had nothing for the whole hour.
What do you mean you heard nothing?
Yo, that English, bruh.
Steve Ukshail.
Ngibulele.
Mara bengizama ukuyibhala hansi amos.
Now ufaka ushukela kuyafana mos.
Oh man, go listen to the podcast. It's well worth it. Malcolm learned a lot yesterday. It wasn't just about football, it was about life. But the conversation we had yesterday, and maybe before I go to that, tomorrow, the continuation of Nomeva's story. Nomeva, of course, is a boxer that won R1 million with Dixie Ngula's, boxing competition. The Pro Boxing League, yeah? He won R1 million that he never received. When did he win this million? 9 years ago. We're in the 10th year of him having won R1 million that he has not yet received. Dixie Ngula, hearing that we're speaking about the matter on the show, came on, and I wasn't convinced with what he's saying. I therefore said to him, send us all the proof of what you speak of, which he agreed on the air. Said, I've got many documents. And I said to him, you have a week to do that. The week is tomorrow. And then let's carry this conversation on after you've had a week. The Eastern Cape, Mampimi Machotina. Mampimi Machotina is the MEC of Sports and Culture now. Correct him? In the Eastern Cape. At the time, I think she was with, no, she's not now, but she was at the Economic Development at the time. And she was the MEC of Sports. So we need to have a conversation with her. We need to have a conversation about this R1 million that needs to be paid. All of that is going to happen tomorrow. We are going to get to the bottom of it. There's a reason Nomeva came here. He'd been everywhere else. The story had been told everywhere else. And everybody just believed this phantom 30 million rands that was sold to us all. I'm not convinced. If government owes this man R1 million, then government of the Eastern Cape must pay. If Dixie owes this man R1 million, he didn't convince me that he doesn't, then he must pay. But either way, somebody must be held accountable. So that's going to be tomorrow. We'll carry that story on tomorrow. I know a lot of you have been asking Timmy and myself, when is the conclusion of that? I don't know when the conclusion is, but I do know that we're carrying it on tomorrow again. But as I was still speaking now, I go back, and I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but I go back to our conversation with Steve Khombela. And when we got to the Swallows matter, and I tried to try and push Steve to tell us a lot more about the ongoings of Moroka Swallows Football Club and where they find themselves and how it is that they find themselves there, but also to find out how bad is it at Swallows. What is truly going on? Steve decided to be, and he said it, you heard him, he said his next employer might be listening to this and he doesn't want to be the kind of guy that speaks ill of where he's from. He is not going to muddy the waters to which he must come back around one day and drink from. But the one thing he did say, and he was epistemic on this, is that Elasto Capueza, who is the team manager at Moroka Swallows, and I paraphrase here, is not good at his job. In fact, he is horrible at his job. He listed things that he has done that happened in camp, including serving dinner for players in a gym because it was just candidly lazy to book a boardroom, something that simple. And he put most of the issues at Moroka Swallows or challenges that he faced at Elasto's door. And I say this to you all the time, and I know sometimes you don't believe me, but this is a show that everybody in sports listens to. Elasto and the entire Swallows were listening to the show. Before the show was over, they called and said, we want our right of reply. We want to come and straighten out and speak the truth to what we feel is untrue about us. So, Elasto Capueza, Moroka Swallows team manager, is with us.
The highly anticipated opening of early bird ticket sales for the Metro FM Music Awards is finally here. Here we go! Fans and music lovers alike, you can now secure your seats to witness the biggest night in South African music. It's about to be crazy! With a star-studded lineup, performances, and the announcement of this year's winners.
Celebrate South African artists.
Excitement is brewing as you can rush to purchase your early bird tickets before they sell out for the awards happening 27th April 2024.
Yeah, man, this is a big night.
At Mbombela Stadium in Mpumalanga.
Come on, Mbombela, come through. Let's do this.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of this unforgettable celebration of talent and music excellence.
We love ensuring that everyone gets the award that they deserve.
Metro FM, it's where you want to be. Brought to you by the Mpumalanga Provincial Government. Visit and explore Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
It's exactly 14 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile, presented by myself, Andile. We're produced by Timothy Maranda, the tech producer, Malcolm Dlovu, tech imaging by Tabong Kwal, and of course, our social media has been watched and curated by Biso Snaps. I mentioned this team because without them, there isn't much of a show. And the cameras, of course, action, we're always live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook, and later on, we will be on YouTube as well as on TikTok. So thank you so much for using all those platforms to watch the show. I mean, I was listening, I was getting told the numbers for Steve's conversation yesterday. I think it's the most numbers we've ever done in a day. That's how many people tuned in. It's the most numbers. In fact, I've got confirmation from Biso there to say, it's the most numbers that we've ever done in a day, that Steve conversation. But what was it about it? Well, the man sits across from me now, Elasto Capoeira. A lot of you said, we're hearing this name for the first time. Well, it shouldn't be, because this man has been around football as a player and as a manager. But what did Steve say exactly? Here's Steve Kompela appealing to Elasto Capoeira. Have a listen to this. The man sits across from me. Please put your headphones on, because I want you to hear all this.
And when you look back and go to FCAK as well, he was there. And when you look back and go to FCAK as well, he was there, and it is continuing. I am also appealing to him. Listen, I don't know how many years he's been in South Africa. We've opened doors. We've accepted him. He's a brother. We must look after the brothers back home here. You know how painful it is that when you say that, but I'm in South Africa and I'm being harassed like this? Shouldn't be, man. Just be human before becoming an administrator. Be a person before you become a professional. I'm a person before I'm a coach. Coaching comes after. I must deal with a person before I deal with a professional and a player.
That's not all. Steve also warns Elasto. Have a listen.
And I had warned Elasto Capoeira about this. And I think sometimes Elasto lacks the understanding that before being professional, there's a person behind the professional, and people are no numbers. It got so difficult to make him understand that. And the suffering that I see at Solos, I think at some point he must look at himself and ask himself difficult questions and say, what is it that I could have done better? And that should not have happened at Moroka Solos.
Elasto, welcome to the show, firstly. You're officially the first person from Moroka Solos Football Club to ever come here.
Kunjani, Andile, greetings to the listeners. Thank you for having me. Really happy to be on the show in light of what happened last night. And it could only be proper, Andile, for me to avail myself, and nowhere to hide. I'm here to try to maybe also speak on what was said and to set the record straight on some of the issues raised by Coach Steve.
I see you've got an entire list. You've got a file in front of you with a page full of what you've written. So perhaps let me just open it to you and say, go forward. Let's hear what it is that you've prepared in response, and thereafter we can have a conversation and a dialogue.
Thank you. First of all, Andile, one was disturbed just listening to what Coach Steve was saying about me. I don't think I heard it for the first time. There have also been, similar utterances in the print media, and they came via this issue of anonymous kind of Sorry, maybe really sorry about that. Sorry, let me just say, I'll just take it away. Sorry about that. It came via the issue of an anonymous person speaking about all these issues at the club. And listening to Coach Steve yesterday, I was like, okay, so this anonymous person is unmasked now. I know and understand where the source is coming from. And it could only be Coach Steve. Hugely disturbed in the sense that, Andile, there should be a separation between Elasto the person and the position that I hold at the club. At the club, I'm the general manager. I was the team manager promoted beginning of the season.
Congratulations.
To the position of
GM.
Being a general manager. It speaks volumes. I've been at the club now. This is my 5th season. And it couldn't be that in looking at what Coach Steve says and who I am now, where I've been, the experiences that one is acquired over the years, and I listen to things of taking a pre-match meal into the gym. It's like, wow. For me, that was far-fetched. Never, never, never in any way would a professional person of Elasto Capoeira to do such things. I think when Coach Steve came to the club, we knew where he was coming from. And entering into the environment of Moraga Swallows, it wasn't going to be easy for Coach Steve. One had to get used to him. He's a coach with certain preferences. I've worked with so many coaches, Coach Middendorp, Dylan Kerr, Coach Brendan Trutham. I can tell you, never have I had such kind of complaints. But coaches are different, and one is to adjust to how they want to do things. And Andile, part of my roles at the club are the logistics around the team, where I would make sure that the team, when it travels, everything is sorted. But Andile, when you are dealing with a supplier or a third party, put it that way, there can be flaws in that. And if there's an incident that happens the way Coach Steve says it, of course with a lot of exaggeration in it, because there's no way that you could go and have a meal in a gym, please. Now, you'd get to the hotel. It's like a flight in itself. I just feel that if a flight is delayed, I think Coach Steve would lament the fact that I'm the one who caused the flight to be delayed. So a hotel that you visited several times, he speaks about him being there with Sundowns. I've been there at that hotel. And there's a lot of planning that happens around me getting the team to Cape Town. There's a lot. I have to look at the distance to the stadium. We could be staying in Cape Town. I have to look and say, no, where is it better? It is better to be in Stellenbosch or playing Stellenbosch at which particular time. All those things, I look at that until the hotel actually, there are certain hotels that I can tell you, if they hear my name, actually some of them even call me. Mr. Capoeira, we are waiting for you. When are you coming? Because they've got the fixture. We've sent the fixture and everything. So there's a relationship at times. But if there's a flaw, when I arrive at the hotel and I'm told at that moment that the conference room that you wanted for a team meeting is not available, that would be nothing to do with me, although it falls on me. And I can tell you, I think it's unnecessary, honestly, right now, to try to say the issues that are at the club or whatever the state of the club at the moment can be attributed to a team that wanted to have a team talk or a video session in a gym. I think that is far from the truth. I would have expected, honestly, that is a coach that, looking at your questions, that would have wanted to speak about what is the main reason why he's not at Swallows. What are the issues at the club? But I just felt somebody who was just out there to just make sure that he assassinates my character. And I think that is something where I was like, oh my goodness, that is not Elasto. It's fine. I'll leave it there. Okay. Yes. So I felt like that until I just felt that from your question.
So it was a character assassination based just on you?
Yes, because Moraga Swallows is not Elasto Capoeira. I mean, you said to me right now in your introduction that some people don't know who is this Elasto Capoeira. And I'm happy that is the case because I played football myself. A disciplined player, really somebody who respected the game. I've never been involved in any scandals.
Career stars.
I've been there, wore the armband several times. The reason why I went into administration, Andile, and it's something that I've always kind of wanted a platform to speak as well as to why am I here where I am. I started, all of us, we start by coaching. There you are, I'm coaching the under, I'm coaching this. But eventually you realize that no, we can't all be coaching. Let me move away and be in administration. one goes to school, really takes time, Andile,
Okay.
to make sure that I'm equipped, because the criticism that comes out there is always.
And you got yourself a master's in business administration.
I did, Andile, I did.
Okay.
I remember working with Coach Zeka Max, and it's not for me to blow my own trumpet. I don't do that, because I always say as an administrator, I don't want to be in the limelight. I understand as a player, the player is the one that must be in the limelight, because I was there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that.
Thanks.
Do you feel you got it all out? I can now.
Yes. I think we can talk along the way.
Let's start with one of the first things, your history, because that came up to say, take a look at his history, where he's been and where all those clubs are. True. And if I look at your history where you've been a manager, and Steve mentioned it as well, where you've been a manager, you go to FCAK, you go to Cape Town All Stars, you go to Maccabi, you go to Mpumalanga Black Aces even, correct?
The Wheatbank.
Wheatbank Aces, rather. Yes. And you look at the history of what happened to all of those clubs. And the insinuation there was all of those clubs no longer existing at some point or another with the challenges they had. The common thread of all of that is you are the manager.
Okay, correction as well, point of correction. FCAK, I was a player, Andile.
I remember.
I was not in management. Actually, I learned a lot.
You never did management while you were there?
No. It was a season when I was in management.
So you were a manager?
Yes.
Okay. But in which season?
That was, I think, 2010 when I retired.
Yes, I remember. So then it's not a point of correction. You were a manager.
Yes.
And were you a manager in their last season?
Correct.
Okay, so then the point is valid. Yes. You were a manager in their last season.
Yes.
Their most challenging season.
No.
Because their last season when they went was their most challenging, surely.
No, it was not.
Which was?
The most challenging season of FCAK was in 2006-2007 season. Remember, FCAK was an NFD side. And that time, Andile, it was a club that attracted a lot of PSO players.
It was an attractive team.
Yes. We went there. I was playing for Bidvest. There were a lot of Pirates players, Elobedina, Joseph Ngak. We all went to FCAK. 6 months down the line, around about December, the problem started of FCAK, where the players wanted to go on strike. Money just ran dry. I was a player that time. And of course, I soldiered on. I remained. The passion was just to play football for me. I said, yes, there's nothing I can do. If the club does not have money, there's nothing we can do. I stayed, I played until I retired. Of course, then I was promoted to say that now, take a manager. I was just a team manager at the time.
Once again, the point still stands.
Yes.
In 2010 it was, I think.
2010.
2009, 2010, yeah?
Yes.
When you were managing the team.
Correct.
And it was their last season, the team. I mean, then you're saying 2006, that's when it began, but it really fell apart in 2009, 2010 when you were the manager, correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's move on. Cape Town All Stars. 6 months, I think it was, that you were there with Lunga. 4 months, in fact.
No.
How long were you in Cape Town All Stars?
I think about 7 months.
About 7 months?
Yes.
What happened there?
Look, if you talk about Cape Town All Stars, again, we move. I went to Cape Town. I was there, and I think I left the team in a better position than I found it. I can tell you that.
Do you think the owner thinks that?
No, he can talk for himself. I think Mr. Lunga Ngana can talk for himself. I was there as the CEO of the club, and I remember the.
So why did he let you go?
There's something that he can answer himself, but for me,
I mean, he spoke to you. Why did he let you go?
Yes, it was me moving away from the club. Actually, I wanted to go. Yes, because I just felt that, there were certain things that I just felt that I couldn't work. Then I left, and I left actually to come back to do some TV work at that time. So,
Elasto,
yes.
Are you saying you and Lunga were fine, and you said, no, I want out, and he said, okay, go?
It happens. I think I was in Cape Town, Andile.
I know very well.
I was in Cape Town,
there.
and my family was down here in Gauteng.
So work was going well, everything was great.
Fantastic. There were even today with Mr. Lunga, we are the best of the buddies.
Okay.
Yes.
And then now we come to Swallows. Yes. And I'm just painting a history.
No, I love that.
Because this is what was brought up. We come to Swallows. You spoke about the challenges at Swallows. What are those challenges?
No, I didn't speak about challenges.
You did. In your opening, you said of all the challenges at Swallows, what are the challenges at Swallows?
No, okay, let me rephrase what I mean. If you say, because I spoke about the coach coming from a certain environment, and he comes to a different environment of Moroka Swallows.
He comes from Sundowns.
Yes, and there's a difference in the
so
two
what
teams.
is what is that difference? What are the challenges at Swallows?
There are difference in terms of resource allocation.
Okay.
Yes, they are, because these are two different teams. We know what Sundowns is all about. We know Moroka Swallows what it's all about in terms of the size, the resources and everything. We are not as well as the other club. So I felt that already were issues there, and the coach had to try to adjust and to make sure that at least he can align to the Swallows environment.
Which is what? That's what I'm trying to... Let's paint a picture. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
Our thinking about Swallows is that, and this comes not only from Steve, but I can play you an interview we had with Brendan Tritter even, who said that, at times there's not even ice baths, there's not even strapping. They have to buy their own. He said that. I can get you that clip now.
No.
So are you saying that's always there, that's always available? Or was a complaint about, water not always being available till you got a sponsor? I think it was just a couple of months ago, in fact. Water not always being available. I looked at, and hold on, do you have it? Please play it. For you at training, how important is an ice bath? How important is strapping?
Very, very important in the football industry, in any sports industry as well. The regeneration process for the next game starts after the final whistle of previous game. So it's very important. It needs to be there, the recovery protocols, because we're dealing with the human bodies, and that it's an absolute must.
How many times did you buy ice, Coach?
Look, my team manager wasn't around or didn't have, or wasn't around when the ice was delivered. So I did him and bring the money back from it.
That's you, the team manager. So hence I'm asking you, how, and here's what I don't understand, Elasto. We know the challenges that Swallows has had acquiring a sponsor. We know the challenges they had with the PSL. So we know that money is not as easily available at Swallows. So to say, we don't have money, we don't have this and this, we don't always have, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the denial of, no, everything is okay. We're not like Sundowns, but everything is okay. And I'm asking you again, because we do have glimpses of things like that come out. Paint the picture for us. What are your challenges at Swallows?
Okay, I don't think one wants to deny certain challenges.
What are those challenges?
Yes, so it's the resource, I said it.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Okay, it means that there are certain things that we can't always have.
Like what?
You might find that if you want to camp for two days, we might not be able to do that. If we want to travel in a certain way, we might not be able to do that. If you want to acquire certain players, we might not be able to do that.
What about the basics, the everyday gym basics?
No.
Water available in as much as you want, and rehydration drinks available as much as you want, strappings available as much as you want. Are you saying that the coach is wrong? Ice bath for the guys to get regenerated. Are you saying that is incorrect? You always have that?
Andile, really, if I sit here and say that at Moroka Swallows they can't provide ice bath for the time I've been in the club, I think that is just a big lie.
So the clip you just heard was a lie?
Ice bath. No, I think we addressed it with Coach Brandon that time. We did.
To say he's lying?
We spoke about it, that coach, but ice bath is always around. We always have. It might be, I don't know, maybe late or for some reason, but I mean, the club that is paying players, paying him as a coach, going to play matches, honoring matches, now fails to buy ice. No, that is, again, really far-fetched kind of thinking or talking, because it doesn't happen like
that.
And
I don't even want, I'm not even fighting here. So all I'm saying is, I just want to get an idea.
For sure.
For instance, hotels. Mm-hmm. It is normal in football that two people will share a room. It is normally 2-2-2. Yes. Does it ever happen that it's 4 people?
No.
So it's never happened that in a room there's 4 Swallows players who separate the top bunk from the mattress to share a room?
No, Andile. You see, Andile, that's why I'm like...
But what if I show a video to say, it's happened, here it is?
I didn't see any video with 4 players in a room.
So that's never happened?
Never. I can show you, I've got everything on my phone. I can show you if you want, Andile, how many players are booked in a hotel, how many rooms allocated
to the players.
I mean, it's 10 rooms every time. We've got 20 players. 10 rooms are allocated for them. I mean, this team, Andile.
So then what are these challenges, Alot?
No, I told you.
You're saying there's challenges.
There are challenges.
If you're saying flying, I mean, everybody flies the same.
No,
if transportation, it's a bus. Everybody transports the same. What else did you mention? You mentioned...
I think I mentioned camp.
I mean, camp. Most teams camp one night anyway, right?
No, but okay.
So then what are these challenges?
No,
salaries. Are you going to confirm that at least, that players are not always paid?
I don't think I can talk so much about salaries, but
I'm asking, are players always paid?
Yes.
On time, every month players are paid?
There are times when they're not paid on time.
Which means what? It's the 31st, you're supposed to get paid, and then they get paid when?
I think there was a time in November when we played a match against SuperSport.
And that was the only time?
Players were paid late. It was an extended period of late payment.
So it's never been 2 months without payment?
No.
3 months without payment?
Andile, there's been there are cases that are happening, and I can tell you, Andile, the point is there's an element of exaggeration.
That's what I'm saying here. Then according to you, Swallows is fine.
No, if I say it's there's no club that is fine.
No, but according to you, everything runs okay.
No. I said there are challenges.
No, the challenges you give me are the challenges even
but which challenges
the well-resourced Sundowns have, the well-resourced Cape Town City or Stellenbosch have.
Camping. Okay, let me talk about camping. Like a pre-season camp, for example. We don't have the luxury to go on a pre-season camp. We can't do that. If you
don't go away, you do it here rather.
No, we don't. But another coach might come and say, but you are a Mickey Mouse team. I want to go in a pre-season camp. We can't do that.
Let's tackle this then, perhaps. You said Steve came here and went for you.
Yeah, he went
rather than, the real reason why he got fired.
Yes.
What is the real reason he got fired?
No, I think he could have answered that because it had nothing to do with the last talk operation. The reason why he's not at Swallows now.
But I'm asking you, why is he not at Swallows?
No, I didn't fire Steve.
But you're the manager. You're the person to whom was speaking to Steve all the time. According to what you know, Steve says you're one of the reasons that made his job difficult.
Ooh, that is...
So I'm asking you, why was Steve fired?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that if Coach Steve says that because he didn't have water, like you're saying, there are 4 players that were sharing a room, and that's the reason why he was fired. Again, that is far from the truth. Because
Elasto, if you're gonna come here, you must at least then have a level of openness, a level of being able to open the lid on some of these things. Otherwise, then this whole conversation has been in vain. Coach Steve didn't mince his words in saying that you are a large part of what is wrong with Morokosola's Football Club. So now I'm asking you, why is it that the coach who says you couldn't even organize a room for guys to eat? Why is it that you saying, because you're saying, in your statement, you're saying he's addressing everything but the reason why he was fired. Why was he fired?
The reason why he was fired, Andile, had nothing to do with myself. Because he's saying he got fired because the manager was working against him. Andile, if there were fundamental differences between myself and Coach Steve.
Which, are you agreeing that they were?
No, there were no fundamental. I want to address the issue of fundamental differences.
Okay.
Because some of these things, Andile, if you talk about, can I...
No, you can take it off.
Sorry about that.
He'll have to taking his headphones off. They're too big and he's got a small head. He's got a small head. That's why he didn't hit the ball.
Yeah, no, I was a good header, by the way. So, Andile, if there were fundamental differences between myself and the coach, I could understand where the coach would say, really, Elasto made my life difficult in terms of me, preparing the team and making sure.
But he said that, Elasto.
Yeah, no, Andile, I don't agree. Because I'm saying that if you look at it, Andile, not even once would I interfere with Coach Steve or any coach for that matter.
But I mean, if you're not booking a room to the way that the coach wants to prepare the team, and you don't do that, if the players aren't equipped with the things that they should be equipped with, that's you. And he's saying that therefore you might not be interfering with him directly, but by doing that you're interfering with the way that he wants to execute his job.
Yeah, but some of the things that he's mentioning, they are also not true. Because there's no way.
But that's what I'm saying, Elasto. If you're going to say to me, this is not true, then surely you should say this is the truth. Because if you're saying to
The
me,
truth.
this is not true, this is not true, then what is the truth?
The truth is
Because then the
that-
truth is between you and Steve, and somewhere in the middle must be the truth. And I'm asking you what the truth
Okay,
is.
the truth is, I did my job. I always do my job to make sure that the team, when it travels, when it trains proper. I mean, if you look at where Swallows, Moroka Swallows trains, Andile, we have one of the best training facility that we have. A basic that the coach has. The coach wants to have his video sessions every morning. He came, we never used to have that. Coaches are different. Another coach doesn't mind that he sits in a table that is four-cornered. Another coach wants an L shape. Another coach wants a round table. We are getting to know, to understand this coach that is coming.
Yeah.
Certain things, I just feel that it is just for the coach to pull me on the side and say, no, but manager, there are certain things that I want them to be done in a certain way. I think it was just unnecessary to try to say that because...
So he wanted things done in a certain way that you had never had to deal with. Did you struggle to do the things that he wanted done in his way?
No ways.
So you did everything, although you thought, hey, this is different.
Yes, it was different.
Tell me some of the things. What did he want that you thought, I've never seen this?
No, for example, Coach Steve, when he's doing his video sessions, for example, or even us just sitting in having a meal, it can be a pre-match meal, it can be dinner, he wants the tables to be set in a certain way. Now, one was not going to get, because I never had, when Coach Steve was appointed, we never sat down with Coach Steve, and Coach Steve said that, manager, this is how I want things to be done.
How does he want tables set? Square, round?
Yes.
L-shaped?
Yeah, because you get in a hotel. I'm saying that I'm coming from a previous coach. I think it would have been maybe a Coach Musa, a Coach Middendorp, Coach Dylan K. And at times we get into a dining room, and at times they like, okay, people are just sitting haphazardly all over the
So
show.
how did Steve want it?
No, he wanted a long table that is all the 20 players on the same table. And of course, we said, coach, is fine. We'll give you that.
Come on, Ernesto. That's
no, but he's
really...
talking about it.
Okay,
He's
hold
talking
on.
about
Let's take a quick break. We'll
Yeah.
come back. Maybe then something will come of this.
Auto Pedigree is giving you up to 50,000 Rand deal assistance to structure a deal that suits your car buying needs. Use your deal assistance to settle outstanding premiums, as your initial installment to start paying later, a deposit to lower your installments, or take it as a cashback. Visit autopedigree.co.za or any of our branches countrywide to find your next car. Auto Pedigree, because you deserve a great deal. T's and C's apply.
Hotspot nyana ntwana? Njani? When you've got the power to connect with prepaid LTE. I'm talking sports highlights while you pay shops in mall. Streaming your way to the front of the voting queue. And get this, 100 gigs goes for only 399 Rand.
Also a sales agent when I'm
No, it's just, I just don't want to be a hotspotting agent wire.
Anyone can stay connected for less while on the go. Here's to the next 30 years of giving you more for less. Deal available only on SA's most reliable network. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Meet Thomas Magolagaubona, the man who only believes what he's seen with his very own eyes. That's until the day he walked into Burger King and saw the King Combo 1 deal. Eh? Why, yeah. Since then, Thomas Magolagaubona changed his name to Thomas. Magolagaubona everything except price at Burger King King-size Combo 1 meal that comes with 2 cheeseburgers, medium chips, and a cold drink for only $60. Mahlangu.
Burger King King-size combo deals. So unbelievably affordable. You have to eat it to believe it.
Lasto, Capoeira.
Why
I
are
think that
two
is-
professional coaches both pointing their fingers at you?
No, but if you look at Coach Steve, I had a fantastic relationship with Coach Brandon and all the coaches for that matter. Yes, we had our issue with Coach Brandon, where you would say that, no, manager, I'm not happy with this. But to say that if one day there is no ice bath delivered or it is late, I mean, I'm just saying that there are flaws along the system. But Coach Steve, I feel that he's just taking it too far to say that the issues at Swallows, whether they are good or bad, because there are positive things at Swallows. Right now, yes, there are positives at Swallows, there are negatives at Swallows. But to say that one single in your interviews, it was only myself.
I admire what Swallows doing.
Yes.
According to what I know, their financial struggles and how much money that Swallows is bleeding, to still be able to put a team out, I admire that. And I admire that it's not of their own doing. But I don't know why you guys struggle to take the country, to take Swallows fans into your confidence and say, guys, this is what it is. So that when you don't pay salaries, guys, you know our troubles. We've spoken about them. This month we're struggling a little bit. Hopefully next month will be better. We're going to try and cover. Then there's nothing we can do. Then we sit here and we say, hey, soldier on. But you've just sat here and you've painted a picture of just absolute blossomed garden.
No, I don't think so, Andile.
Did Coach Steve deliver when it came to results, according to you?
Yes, he delivered.
Was Coach Steve, let me ask you, just a couple of direct questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Was Coach Steve, so he delivered in results. So the reason he's fired cannot be results.
Yeah, he delivered in results.
Okay.
Yes.
Was Coach Steve part of the instigators or an instigator with the players together for the strike?
Yes, I think the issue of the strike, Andile, and the role of Coach Steve in terms of the understanding between him and the players, the club feels that it could have been handled better by Coach Steve. Because at the end of the day, Andile, it's not a matter of trying to sweep things under the carpet. There were internal issues. Salaries were delayed. There was a promise made and so forth. But despite that, as the captain of the ship, that is in Coach Steve, we feel he could have handled better to try to speak to the players in the manner that they'll still go out there and still play football games. But there was just that disconnect, and we just felt that the situation could have been handled better.
So you feel that Steve sided with the players and not with management? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not a matter of taking sides. I'll tell you why. It's a matter of him. You are leading now. It's the leadership, Andile. Things might be, like he said, the house can be bent down. I listened to him. I'm like, but that's the same thing that, coach, you could have done. If the house is bent down, why didn't you continue with your troops? I mean, there are avenues that one could raise issues. Even you asked him several times, why didn't you go to the higher management and speak to them that, but your manager is making your life difficult? I listened to your question. But again, I think there was no direct answer from the coach. So the coach could have gone to management. The coach spoke on TV after the game against SuperSport and said that the players never trained for 10 days. You know, Andile.
Did they train? Was the coach lying?
No, Andile. I'm going to come here on this show and every time interview and tell you that this is what is happening at the club and so forth. We should try to resolve matters internally. We are not trying to hide issues, but there are certain things, Andile, even here, Andile, we have to try to respect the club and speak about those things internally.
But once those things are out, when we ask about them, don't we deserve a fair answer?
No, you do.
Correct answer?
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so then let me ask you.
Yes.
Was there a time when they boycotted and didn't go to training for 10 days?
Yes.
Did Coach Steve, according to management, do you feel Coach Steve didn't do all he could to support management? Instead, he supported the players, which then built a rift between the two?
He was supposed to support the club. Yes.
And he supported who?
No, he supported the action of the players.
Aren't the players the club?
Yeah, they are part of the club. Because the club, if I say the club, Andile, the players belong to the club. The players, they draw an income from the club. He draws an income from the club. So we Andile, if the club has got a bag of money somewhere where they are hiding it and not wanting to pay the players, you could understand. But the matters, were communicated. The chairman addressed the players.
To say what?
To tell them of the challenges that were there, that monies will be paid. They'd been paid. If it is late, it is 1 or 2 days that they are paid late. But the players are paid.
So then Steve doesn't support the club, supports the players. That builds a rift between top management and Steve. Is that why when the season begins and guys start to go to training, Steve is not told about it?
I think I need to address that. Because my name was mentioned again by this anonymous person that now we know that it was Coach Steve.
It was an article written by, I think, Mazola.
Yes, so it kept on saying anonymous. So but now from what he said yesterday, I know who this anonymous is. Now, I mean, again, that's what I'm saying, that, Angela, if you look at it, I've been falsely accused every time.
Did you tell Steve that there's training?
Myself.
Yeah.
But whether I tell him or I don't tell him, under whose instructions am I operating, Andile?
But that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Did you tell him? Me?
Did you tell him?
I did not.
You would be the person to tell everybody though, right?
Of course.
So then were you told not to tell him?
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Andile, when I phone the players, report to training, the management would have sat down and say our training is going to start on the 10th of February or 10th, whatever the time. I'm mandated to execute
as
whatever.
What you've been told.
Exactly.
So then in that mandate...
So I wasn't told.
In that mandate, were you told not to tell Steve?
I was told the people that must report for training.
Was Steve one of those?
No, he was not.
Okay. So management said to you, call everybody for training, Musa, everybody, but they left out Steve Compella.
Of course, yes.
Did you ask why? Because surely that's the coach. You're Elasto, you're the team manager. You should have said, Steve's name is missing here.
Yes.
What were you told?
He's not coming for training.
Because?
We are talking to the coach. Who will tell you, once we've dealt with the coach, you'll be let known. And that is it. Then I continue with my work. I bring everyone that's supposed to come. So where do I come in myself?
Is the rift of Steve supporting the players over maybe helping management to get the players to play? Is that why Steve is fired?
I'll be speaking on behalf of the management of the club, of which I'm not privy to exactly what was the reason. Even the coming of Coach Steve Andile. I don't hire or fire coaches at Moroka Swallows. When a coach comes, my exact words, Andile, when a coach comes, I said, Coach, I'm at your mercy. I'm your runner. Anything that you want, I will do.
You mentioned the coaches that have been at Swallows.
Yes.
Was Steve a difficult coach according to you to deal with?
He is a difficult person. He's larger than life. He's somebody, for me personally, who really wants control. And Andile, I don't have a problem with that. I would give him that. Because that's why I say that for me, you don't see me. It's not about Elasto. I can tell you for your own information. If there were issues with me and Coach Steve, Andile, at one stage I said, you know what, Coach and the management, I'm even prepared myself to step aside, to allow Coach Steve his full reign. If he feels that I'm the stumbling block, I was prepared to do that. But the club are saying that, but you've been with us for this. If really there were major flaws in your work, by now we should have shown you the door. I mean, I think you are undermining and really...
So the club chose you?
No, the club did not choose me over Coach Steve. No ways. It is more than that, Andile, in terms of how we go forward as a club after the events of December. It wasn't so much about now we choose.
How do you feel, though, being the team manager at a time when a black history of Swallows will forever remain? You didn't show up for 2 games.
It was, Andile, that was the saddest day in my football career. I was close to tears when we did not play Sundowns. And
why didn't you put out your DDC team?
We would have been also accused of disrespecting the game because the DDC team was not preparing to play Sundowns. No. I mean, really, you put up a DDC team.
You could have prepared them for Golden Arrows then. Why didn't you prepare them for Golden Arrows?
it's a long story in terms of what transpired there, but it was the saddest day in football. Such a game of that magnitude, where if you look at the people that were involved on that day, and everyone, I'm like, really, we could save this day, this football day, and I think we lost it there. So for me, Andile, we could have done better, including Coach Steve. Coach Steve could have done better.
How so?
Yes, in terms of how he controls and speaks to the players. But
so you wanted Coach Steve to convince players that are saying we want our money to say, hey, you will speak about the money, but let's go play. You think he should have done that? He should have spoken to them to say your money will come, which he doesn't know if the money will come or not, because obviously he's not in the pockets.
No, he knows.
How does he know?
No, he knows. He's been there. He's been paid. The players have been paid. They were late payment for November. Yes.
So you feel he should have put his neck on the line and said, let's go play, the money will come?
No, any coach should do that in that instance, because now if you come at the club, Andile, and really you are seen to be going or working against the club, then of course I don't think there's any chairman or any club owner who would be very happy with that kind of an approach. And that is what some of us do. It is not like we condone players not being paid. I think that needs to be kind of clarified, that it is not that. It is the understanding. He speaks about players that now don't have bread on their table. Andile, that is what exactly some of us wanted to avoid, that it will go that route of now eventually players being called hold before a DC, eventually being dismissed. No, we were not supposed to be there. We could have handled the matter better. I'm talking about the leadership, including himself, Coach Steve.
Did you guys fire all the players so you could rehire them on a less salary?
No, and that is another thing. I've heard you show that no, that is what they're planning to do.
Did you hire them?
You must ask them.
Are their contracts less?
No.
Is it the same contract?
Same.
Okay. Lastro, I appreciate you. You got the best smile in the world. People don't know that. I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anytime. The right of reply is always open on this show.
I'm glad you did that.
Even for the chairman.
He's coming.
Tell him the door's open.
He's coming.
We always want to have a conversation with anybody and everybody. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good, thank you.
They're different shades of blue. It's one of those colors with like many different shades with very peculiar names, and women are great at colors. I'm seeing I don't know if it's turquoise or if it's more of an aqua blue. What blue is
probably
it?
more aqua blue, sea blue almost.
Sea blue.
It's like a sea blue with white, but it's like very faint, very warm, very light. How are you doing? I like what you're wearing also. Grey and white as well. Look, we got each other right with the white part.
We did. If we walked out here, we would be quite a match.
We would be quite a match, but we already are quite a match.
Do you think it'd look good on my arm?
I think I'd make any man look good, but particularly you.
This is true.
This is very true. I like
to be mentally challenged, but as soon as I open my eyes to the challenge, I just love seeing beauty.
Really?
I think you tick those boxes.
Do I tick those boxes?
I think so.
There's so many boxes that I tick that you don't even know about.
Oh, no.
I'm serious. Oh, yes.
Faith. I'll rest and have a little bit of faith and wait. What's going on today?
I almost want to say, please ask me what's going on in the show now, because I can't handle it. We're going to be looking at the budget speech. Obviously, it's deliberated by the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. Touched on many aspects in looking at the country's current economic standing, growth estimates, of course, the servicing of debt. This is obviously against the even exorbitant, hey, if you think about smoking or drinking, please note that we have those sin taxes that have been rising exorbitant. Like, it's insane, some of the rising. So we'll talk a little bit about it. We've got a panel of experts in the studio this evening. We're really going to deep dive into the budget speech, because it is a budget speech that is ahead of the elections on the 29th of May. We've got different experts to do so. And then we're speaking to the chairman of Akani Group to talk about what they're doing to help in those who need pension fund related services. The chairman of Akani Group is Zamani Lejane. Now, if you don't know Zamani Lejane, I also had a pleasure of meeting him. He's also involved in some property development. Remember the Radisson? You know the Radisson Hotel in Kempton Park.
In Kempton Park, yeah. What is it called again?
It's the one with level 7.
Yes, at the top, the restaurant.
At the top.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful place.
Owns it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That place is owned by a black man?
That place is owned by a black man.
I frequent it. I must have conversations with him. It's beautiful. I love it.
He is an absolute humble individual. So he's in the studio with us this evening. We're getting to talk with him. And then yesterday, Andile, we started part one on the forced sterilization of women. We realized that we couldn't get to where we wanted to get, and people were starting to leave their messages, and it was hectic. So we said we're going to give out about 30 minutes before the show concludes so that we can really revisit it. But also looking at it this evening, we've got the health ombudsman, because he has to answer from a perspective of how do doctors feel as though they've got a right to sterilize women without their knowledge? Where are these doctors today? Because some of the girls were saying yesterday that the doctors who sterilized them, some have been declared dead. So the doctors died.
I'd love to see a study that tells us the hue of the people that are getting sterilized in that manner.
Yeah.
I'd love to see if there's any white people. I'd love to see if there's any other people other than black people.
100%, because so far it's black African women who are HIV positive. And again, the question is, where are these doctors today? Because somebody's approving these sterilization techniques. So it's all that and more that's coming up this evening.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's exactly 19:02:30. We got to get out of here. Thank you so much to my crew that shoot this show and, make it look awesome every single day so that when you go, you have a visual reference of it. I really, really appreciate you. Let's meet at Sport at 10 this evening. From myself and my entire team. Pela pela. Nanto.
Welcome to the Urban Rhythm Revolution.
Listen,
Metro FM.
I'm the greatest of all time.
For all things urban,
I love the station.
it's where you want to be. Submissions for this year's Metro FM Music Awards are now open.
And the winner is...
To enter, simply log on to www.metrofm.